Hello and welcome to the Jamie Scott Dog Owner Training. Today I'm going to talk about the toughest 8 weeks in your life as a dog owner, if you get a puppy anyway. And that is from 8 to 16 weeks. Now this is a really difficult time because you basically have a puppy that's bouncing off the walls and you can't take him out really to interact with other dogs until he gets that third and final parvo booster at 16 weeks. Normally they get them at 8, 12, and 16 weeks. And you really don't want to take your dog to the dog park or daycare until he gets that third parvo booster. I have plenty of videos on parvo on puppies, so I don't want to dive into that too much. This is the challenge with having a young puppy is giving them outlets for all that energy. And it's most difficult in that 8-week period. Now, many vets will tell you don't even walk your puppy during that time. That's terrible advice because your puppy needs outlet for energy, and new sights and smells and things like that can be a really significant outlet. It can challenge him mentally. So you want to take your dogs for walks, but only if you can do it safely. And by safely, I mean stay on concrete or asphalt. Do not go on grass or dirt where they can get parvo. And if you can walk them so they're not going to choke themselves to death or get out of a harness and get run over by a car. I have plenty of videos on this topic. I almost hate to bring it up because every time I do, I lose followers. But in my opinion, by far the safest way to walk a puppy that's bouncing off the walls or any dog that pulls at all under any circumstances is with a properly fitted prong collar of the right type used properly. Now, the reason I keep losing followers for this topic is there's a lot of stigma around prong collars and using them, and people think it's cruel and inhumane, and it absolutely can be if you're not using them correctly or you're not using the right prong collar or it's not fitted properly. But in my opinion, it is downright cruel to walk a dog in a way that he could hurt himself or hurt you. And if your dog's pulling hard under any conditions and you don't have the right collar, it's likely he's going to hurt himself or you. He can collapse his trachea, especially a puppy that's developing and that tissue is not fully formed yet. It's tender. You can't keep the leash loose with a puppy like that with anything other than a properly fitted prong collar. Now, the only other option that I would even consider is a harness that connects in the front. It's not nearly as effective. Dogs will still pull with that, and a lot of dogs can slip out of harnesses and then get run over by a car. But if you're adamantly opposed to prong collars, which I would recommend you reconsider, that might be a viable option, but he's going to pull a lot more. And I'm not talking about correcting a dog with a prong collar. I don't use them that way. The dog will self-correct. As soon as the leash gets taut, he'll feel that tension and he'll stop pulling. It allows you to keep the leash loose all the time, even with a young puppy. Now, there's lots of tricks to it, how you ease them into it and get them used to it without freaking them out. I have videos on all of these things. You always start off with 2 rings the first time you put a prong collar on any dog, not 1 ring where it grabs, and you ease them into it. But it's just like a puppy's mom would do if he was getting really obnoxious and not listening. She would grab him by the scruff of the neck, and he would freeze. And that's exactly what happens when the puppy starts to pull and feels that prong collar grab him by the scruff of the neck. He freezes. He stops pulling instantly. There's going to be plenty of people that say, oh, I think prong collars are inhumane. I encourage you to open your mind, and it's by far the safest way, most effective way to keep your dog from getting parvo, from hurting himself if your dog pulls. And all puppies pull until they learn how to walk on the leash. The toughest 8 weeks you'll ever face in your life as a dog owner. It's like the terrible 2s, but even worse when you have a puppy from 8 to 16 weeks. That's what I got for you today. I'm on X now, link below. Thanks for watching, and take care.